Hi guys, welcome to my channel, Lighting Your Sunshine, where we like to shine a light within and empower ourselves. So for today's reading, I'm picking up on weird energy and I didn't really get much insights as to what's going on. So the ones that we're going to use is we're going to use the Weird World Tarot, and sometimes I always shuffle it and then I pull like one card just so that I can know a little bit what to kind of expect. And every time I got this wild card, this blank one. So I'm going to find out as much as you're going to find out in the same time. And then we have the Citadel. So the one card I got from that was, I got the Hound in reverse, which I think is so fitting because we have Beauty over here and she's bringing the bass. She's bringing healing frequencies into this reading, and she has a heart of gold, right? I have my little band of misfits, and they all have different personalities, but she is the absolute loving, most kind one that there is. And so we're going to bring beauty into this. We're going to bring the bass, and yeah, let's just shuffle up, and we'll keep this one out. No, we won't. If it comes out, it's like double meant to be. But are you ready? Okay. So we're gonna do the weird ones first, Beauty. Bayote. Beauty girl. Her name is also Shanae because that's her pony name. Right, Shanae? Nay. She jumps like a pony. Oh, she's just pure love. But you know what else? She's also interesting with that hound one. She is the one that's not scared of the unknown. She's the one that's like a protector and a hunter, right? She's such a beautiful blend of light and dark. So I'm really curious to know what that one was because it fell upside down. But to start out, we have Two of Wands, and I kind of see it's like a protective bubble around it, and I see the mountain as a challenge, and I said a good balance of light and dark. So there's light, a little bit dark, challenges, something like that. Then this one's in reverse, but we have Nine of Cups, and that was like that. And then this one flew out, and it's the World. Now, is that a fox on the top? Doesn't matter, they say. So let's just pull out some more. Is that all we need? 3 cards? Miss Lene. I want to do this one and this one. Okay, so there's like something unfolding from all these messages the last couple days. Minus the one that just came out yesterday, because that one was just like an inspiration to say that your soul is so resilient, that you're so strong, that you'll get through this, no matter what thing happens to you. And so I forgot to light candles, but oh, let's not do that one. That one's eucalyptus. Kitty cats don't like eucalyptus. But we can do this one, because it's such a treat that Nene is coming to chill. Okay, so we got the Devil in reverse. And so why do I think that? Because we haven't had that card come out. Oh, cat hair. And we have the Star in reverse. This is the third reading where the Star has come out of reverse in different decks. This is, did we use this one? No, we used the Sunflower Tarot, and we used the Weird World Lenormand ones. So this is the third deck in a row where it came out. And so the reason why I feel the Devil in reverse, because in 2 days ago, we had the Emperor in reverse with the Hierophant in reverse. And it was a very controlling, manipulative energy. So there's something to come. There's protection. There's protection from emotions, from challenges, everything like that. It seems like there's a mini version. And whatever it is they're telling me, it's right in your hands. And what I got in my hands, I got beautiful beauty. I have beauty in my hands. So do you. and to not worry. It may seem like things aren't working out for you. The Nine of Cups would have been like personal fulfillment. There just seems to be something that's blocking that, a challenge. But this challenge, I feel like that this was in reverse before and it did take the shine, but you've kind of freed yourself from that, and maybe you don't need as much of that attention as before. But by finally like letting go of, it's almost like an attachment to something. It could be a thought pattern. It could be something outside of you. I'm kind of seeing like the 7 deadly sins, and you can kind of narrow down to which one that is, and then go even deeper. Like, right, it spreads out. So to actually like pinpoint that point that affects your life. There's so many things that affect us, but that's what I see. I saw whatever it is, you kind of now having control over it. There still is this thing to kind of deal with, and maybe that's why you're not feeling so fulfilled, but you have the power in your hands to deal with whatever it is that you're dealing with. It's also today, as I'm filming this, Symbolic, which is my favorite holiday because I love Bridget. I love the Flame Keeper, and that's why I was like, I don't have my fire. So now we got fire. And I used to be scared of fire, but I'm not anymore. Yeah, something's in your hands, and now because you finally, this is like a moment that you've tried to work through so many times and it seemed like you never made it through. No matter what, there's always a setback. There's always a relapse or something, but it's time. It's time now. So, what do you think of these ones? Right, Beauty? It's time. Beauty. Oh, I shuffled them and we got the Hound. The Hound says loyalty, chains, and promises. Right, Beauty? And I was trying to sing or do a reading with the unicorn one the other day. And I'm sorry for people who are new, but it just seems like the energies always flow and it will intermix. And I'll always try to tell my best to like share with what I remember. But all the stories will always kind of mix and blend into each other. And if it doesn't make sense right now, it might make sense in a week or something when a new reading kind of incorporates it a bit more. So we have that Wolf, the Hound. Then we got Merchant in reverse, and that one says self-worth and trade. And then we got the Sentinel with determination and certainty in reverse. So what I'm seeing is the chains being broken. So that's what the Hound said, loyalty with chains. And there's chains here, and it had to do with self-worth. When I think of merchants, I think of things, selling yourself. There's a devil card out here, so it sounds like someone kind of sold a little bit of their soul for things. And the Sentinel also, how did I see it? There's like 2 little swords that are in the white here. And then there's 2 here. There has something to do with balance. And now they're bringing me to here. And the sword, the Hound is eating the sword. And so the Hound says loyalty and chains and promises. I feel like the sword used to cut, the sword used to something. The sword, let me see here. It broke these chains, but there used to be this sword that used to be kind of weaponized, but it's being broken now. So in this one, the dog, the Hound is not that bad. Because we got kitty cats, right, Miss Nene? You're going to stand guard? That's what you're doing? Okay. So let me just see a connection here. Whatever it is that you seem to have sold, a little piece of your piece. There's something that took your piece, and it's time to release what the attachment. It seems like that's what they're showing me, is that there's this divine protection, and they say you can't just get over it. You have to work through it. And by working through it, it's going to end it. Because over here we had the Nine of Cups. The Nine of Cups had to do with like this, with this self-worth. And this is like your fulfillment. Every time you almost get through it, it seems like something to do with the self, something to do with the worth, kind of gets tripped up in this devil energy. I felt called to look at the bottom of the deck, and we have Captain. And it says taking command and teamwork. But it was also paired with the devil. Somebody made a deal with the devil in this story. And what am I being drawn to? This one goes with this one. Okay, I just need to pull some more. We need 4 more. This one goes with this one. That one. What reading was that? Okay, they're all blending. Like this whole week of everything, I thought they were all separate. I thought it was something, but I'm seeing now that they just blend. So what am I seeing? I'm seeing with the Sentinel, when it says determination and certainty being in reverse, that you're not feeling as confident because there was this attachment. We have the Merchant with self-worth and trade, and it's because someone made a deal with something that was not good for their heart, for their soul. Then we have the Hound over here. The Hound and Beauty, which is all about loyalty and chains. They're being broken. It's time to break these bonds, break these chains. So we got this deal over here. And when that deal happened, it kind of took the star moment, the essence of whatever this situation was, and put it in reverse. And so I see something up in the sky twinkling and dancing and being its vibrant, vivacious self. And with that comes the Dancer. And the Dancer was in reverse. I see it spiraling from the sky. It took something that was so high vibrational and kind of, I don't know, I see entrapment. And so the Dancer is all about self-expression and strength. And so when you look at her hands, there's all these, like, it's going around her like a ribbon dance. But what I find very interesting is this morning, this was sitting outside my door, and I used this for something else, but it should not have been there. I don't know how it got there, but I'm thinking it's Shanae over here, and she was playing and left it there. I don't think the other cat would do it. He's too cool. He's too cool for that kind of stuff. But there's this string right outside the door as soon as I was about to do this reading. And I'm like, how fitting for that. I use this for, it doesn't matter what I use it for. And so that's what I see. What else do I see? A little bit in the readings. It could have been like a partnership. I don't know. Do you ever hear that thing? And I find that you can break the string, right? You just take fire and burn it. Gone. I have a lion here and Sekhmet, and I taught in one video how there's a book, and it's like, I forget exactly what it's called, but I think it's just called Sekhmet by Nikki Scully. And it's kind of like shamanism type things and how you can work with her and how she kind of takes pain from you and you tie knots, right? Your hands, as you're doing it, you feel it. It's in that knot. There's a knot right there. But then you burn it afterwards. But there's different ways to break the string, right? And so that's what I'm seeing. I'm seeing like something that was like destined. Whoa! I didn't even get to that one, but I said something that was destined. And then over here on the world card, it almost that's a fox, but sometimes it looks like a lion to me. It almost looks like this. And on it, in reverse, is the tailor cutting a red string. Trippy. It says attention to detail and pride. So there's a lot of lion energy coming out in here. So when I talked about the 7 deadly sins, we talked about pride is one of them. And I feel like that's one, that's a major one that's coming through in this. There's so many different things, but when it comes to the ego, I'm seeing something to do with the pride and maybe whatever's resonating with you, but I feel like it's pride and something else. But how trippy that this was right outside my door this morning. And that tailor, there's those scissors just cutting it. You can burn it, you can cut it, you can do so many things. Like, you're not attached to this. So there is this strength coming back, and with it, self-expression. Because over here with the merchant, and there's those red apples. So maybe the red string, I don't know, there's something to do with red. And this red has to do with safety and survival and the root chakra. And you kind of sold a little bit of the self-worth. And so it seems like things have been hard because there's not that. This is like fulfillment when you've got all the pentacles and everything in order. But another thing that kind of tripped me up was on this one, the 9 of Cups was the poet. So in another reading, the poet came out, and I can't remember which one, and I can't even remember what that reading was about, but self-expression, and I'm seeing the Hound here with his, right, self-expression. This was about loyalty. This is being loyal to the wrong things, the wrong causes, letting pride and ego get in the way, making deals with those that aren't very beneficial. But what does it say with the poet? Relationships and vulnerability. So I think that's what they're showing me, is at a time when you were very, very vulnerable, there was a lesson for you to get through something. And it seems like when we're at our low, we have this inner dialogue. And this inner dialogue is like, you're strong enough. Like, you hear your guides, and they're telling you what to do. But it almost seems like someone comes through with an easier solution, and that's not what your guides were telling you to do. So by doing so, it kind of puts you in a situation that took away. It made things harder. It made you feel stuck and stagnant. And it's been a very long, hard cycle to get out of this. So with the last card, we have that it's like a divided world. There's 2 worlds, and there's this protective bubble. And then there's still a miniature version there. And so that's what I feel like. There's the mini microcosm, and then there's the bigger stage that we call life. What am I seeing? Fine-tuning it, dealing with it, but what came with it? We got the catalyst, and it was in reverse. So there was something that was meant to like skyrocket if you had dealt with that one problem, but by choosing the quicker, easier way, the catalyst didn't happen. And what a catalyst does is there's a energetic exchange that needs to happen, right? You need to put in this much energy into it. And if you add a catalyst to it, it almost makes things easier. So if you had gotten through this karmic lesson, it almost would have like been a catalyst to your success. But when this deal came in, it seems like it was going to get you to the thing faster, but all it ever did was spiral things downwards. You thought it was going to raise higher. You thought it was a friend, but it turned out to be more of a frenemy situation. And the catalyst is saying radical changes and taking control. So you let go of control, you got out of the driver's seat, and you let someone else steer you way off course in this story. Now my question, is this the viewer, or is this someone that the viewer is dealing with? I don't know. Let let it resonate with however it's meant to resonate with you. Don't force a story to fit. But what am I tapping on? I want to pull one. It's time for it to complete. That's it. It seems like this has been a very toxic cycle, especially when you make a deal with someone who is very nefarious and has ill will towards you. You get trapped in these karmic cycles, and you can think you know better, but when you come face to this crossroads and this choice, there's consequences to every choice that you have, right? Every action that you make, every person that you let influence you. And it's so important. Oh wow, it's like right on the bottom. This is just coming out. It's just this blank wild card. Every person that influences you, you're a makeup of like the 5 closest people around you. And what's their karma? Because if you're gonna go and make a deal with someone and their karma, it's going to blend into yours. It's gonna hinder you more than help you. So I think it's so important for you to have boundaries, to have protection, and to walk away from people who don't have good intentions for you. If their energy is off, I wouldn't entertain it. I mean, people could have a bad day, but if you collectively look at it over and over again, trust your first instinct because you know. And so the one that I kind of pulled out, that was like, is this collectively or is this someone else? You won't play? It was you, wasn't it? You little red string breaker. She said, I don't like those red strings. We break these strings. We don't like attachments. So we got the 4 of Swords. And the main thing that's really standing out in this is the fall season. I wanted to say it happened in fall time. The major bulk of this. And they're showing me how when Mars, because I'm seeing red being very significant in this, when Mars went into retrograde. Now, did that go in the fall or did that go in December? I don't know. When it comes to the whole astronomical, those kind of things, especially like a full moon, I mean, if like somehow social media kind of shows it to me and I'm meant to see it, I know. But most of the time, I don't even know what's going on with the things. I follow the seasons. Those are easier. There's just 4 things to know. And I like elements. I think elements are a lot. But when I think of Mars, I think of red, I think of fire. And I want to say it happened in the fall. I know it's been quite the ride. And you know what? If it was even in December, December 22nd is like when winter officially started. So that's what I feel like. Whatever happened in the fall season, somebody fell from grace. And okay, so I don't feel like, if this is resonating with you, I feel like that's when the light came back on. The holy WTF, what did I do kind of moments. I made deals with people I shouldn't have made deals with. And I don't feel like myself anymore. This is the 3rd reading where the star has been in reverse. In one of them, it all talked about you really need to go within. You really need to go within and you need to do your own inner work, because when you keep clearing, like meditate, go and meditate, just do it. Rest when you're tired. Don't go and force things right now, because with the 4 of Swords, it's all about resting and sleeping and recuperating kind of thing. I'm hearing Billy Talent right now. Fallen leaves, fallen leaves, fallen leaves on the ground. I heard it took a lot of time, energy, magic, and facade to keep all this. I'm seeing it almost try to look like an eternal spring or like a tree in the summer, like fully grown. And actually, I was just going through my pictures the other day, and I had this tree, and it kept its leaves almost all year round. And what did I learn about that? I'm being drawn to this one because there's water. Apparently, the tree might not lose all its leaves if it has not gotten enough. No, it loses its leaves early, I don't know, it had to do with something like not having enough water or something like that. So there's something to do with fire, and that's what the star card is represented by Aquarius. So we just got, oh snap. Okay, so I tell you I don't follow astrological things, but we just went into the age of Aquarius, they say, when Pluto, which is usually like the karmic things that you're dealing with, went from Pisces, which is water, into Aquarius, the golden age. There's a lot of gold on this card. There's a lot of water. That's when I think things started to spiral. Because things that you had aligned to before, and made contracts with, and cords and things like that, no longer irrelevant. The contracts were voided. And so there seems to be a lot of loose ends up in the sky and things falling. And we've had to deal with them and find that balance again. So a lot of people have been going through their inner stuff. That's what they're saying. Rest and release right now. There's this great purge going outside of us as well as on the inside, right? There's two purgings going on right now. And the catalyst happened, radical changes, when there's a little bit of the Mars energy in retrograde, as well as Pluto going into Aquarius. Those are two extreme things right now. So you could be like, I don't have any deadly sin that I need to work with. And then that's where we say pride. Check your pride. It's pride and something else. And yeah, so it just seems like the last couple months have been hard. And I've heard so many people complain about January and how hard January is. Apparently January is always hard because it's like the coldest month. It's the darkest month. There's no fun things like Christmas coming up. But I think that this is added on top of that. And so to deal with that right now, there's a lot of self-worth and things to come out of it. You're detaching from things that aren't good alliances anymore, and you're finding the balance to get back into your authentic expression on how you want to present yourself in this world. This is the merchant. You are meant to have abundance and things, but just not in the same sense where the ego was controlling it before. So how can you, maybe this before, what you thought this wasn't the right way, but how can we fine tune it and find the right balance for us? How can we find the self-worth and trade and align with partnerships that actually are beneficial for us? Again, it says taking command. Don't ever let anyone else take your free will. Don't let anyone control and lead your life. You make the decisions. Because at the beginning of it, they said spirit was guiding you to something, but you thought that this thing that came along, it was a trick. And it kind of took you off your path. And that path spiraled you so far down that it took a long time to get back up to the surface, to find that self-worth and the beauty in life. And yeah, we're cutting things now. There's a balance right now. New partnerships, everyone's kind of going to where their energy is, and we're cutting. It's done. So the world ended up with Taylor. Contracts and things that have been holding on to you are now being released. And when you were so used to being this heavy and all of a sudden you're so light, it's going to feel different. You're not going to feel like yourself. You stay grounded. Again, I'm seeing drink lots of water, but meditate lots. Take lots of rest, take lots of water in this time. And just continue to purge. There's two purgings going on. The one within you, and then there's the one outside of you. And you might not like what you see outside of you, but just know not to let it hurt you too much to the point where you become scared, because these things have to come up and out because it's been hidden and the illusion is no more. Everyone's masks are going to be off, and we're going to see things for how they really are, not what we want them to be. And it's going to break some of our hearts to know some of the things that they already said, like, we foreshadowed the last year. Like, last year, so many things, like with the Nickelodeon, all those type of things coming out. Just be prepared to not let it affect you. Make sure you have a good support system. And with that support system, again, the 5 people around you, the closest. Do they fill your cup, pump you up, instead of giving you false things? Do they try to control and tell you what to do? Ideally, we want to come back and bring our heart into it and dance and be expressive and cut ourselves from the things that are no longer serving us. So, to sum this all up, how did this all go? That went with that went with that, and those go with that. To sum it all up, I feel like it's the Hound. Loyalty. Who are you loyal to? What are you loyal to? The next one is chains. What is keeping you down? And how did these chains even get to be there? And promises. What promises have you made that no longer serve you and you're ready to let go of? It's a tough energy, but don't take the easy way, because the easy way is going to take you so much longer. It's going to take you so far off the road. Just keep doing the work. Do your due diligence. Do your due diligence and take care of yourself. So with that, we'll see you next time. Bye, guys.